Peace, 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 everybody. Once again, you're listening to G Consciousness. And we got my man on the panel, Israel Doctrine, aka Carl Albert, here in the house with me. You know, what we're going to be dealing with is Jacob and Esau, the struggle for inheritance. Jacob and Esau, the struggle for inheritance. So, what made me choose to do this topic today is because we had a brother to slander or bring out some text that he do not know about. So we, which are Bible handlers, must bring out this information to the people and let the people know what it is and our understanding and perspective on this text in this Genesis 25. So with that being said, let me open up to Mikael. We got Mikael on the panel. Mikael, say what's up to the people coming in the house, and then afterwards, Israel Doctrine.
Grace and peace, shalom, mercy, blessings, and all things to you people. And I'm just here to listen, man. Check it out. See what you got going on this time. Trying to stay away from the drama, man. I'm just going to relax and listen.
Yeah, so we got the brothers on the panel. Go ahead, Israel Doc. Let it be known what's going on.
Peace, what's up, everybody? Like I said, I really didn't know what was going on, but whenever somebody reach out a hand, I come over. And as he stated, the title is Jacob and Esau, the struggle for inheritance. That's simple. Esau believed it was his, but yet he did some things to allow Jacob to take it, which the blessing was already given to Jacob. If you really deal with the scriptures, his mother made sure that it came about, that he got it. And the way he got it was to basically go out there and play Esau. He dressed up, put some hair on and different stuff, and he got what was rightfully his. And Esau now dresses up and act like he's Jacob to receive that which he believes is rightfully his, but it's not. It's already prophesied. And as most people try to deal with that don't believe in the Bible, they always try to deal with the allegory perspective that they talk about in the New Testament. But one thing about allegories, parables, and different things, if it don't have a literal aspect, then you can't do it anyway. You can't make nothing from nothing. So it has to be something that exists that you take and put it in an allegory form. So hopefully, the brother LaRon go through the text and bring these things out and some, other things that y'all might be missing on the text. But if not, we got a couple people here that's very capable of dealing with the text, because Scrappy, he be lacking sometime, but we ain't gonna keep it out because of that.
All right, so once again, that's Israel Doctrine right there. Then we got the brother King Yeshaya on here. What's going on, King Yeshaya? Let the people know what's going on, brother.
What's going on, man? Shalom, brothers. I'm coming with a different spirit today, man. Had a nice little build last night with Boston and Kansu, man, and I did all my venting. I'm gonna try to be more humble, man, even in the face of disagreement and fire. I seen Lex's videos. I do want to just say this. Mikael and Basim basically, and Michael and the other Michael Edwards. It was basically a false accusation against them brothers, saying that they were just allowing you to talk about one of the Hebrew War Machine brothers. That's not the case. Mikael expressed plenty of times that, those are my brothers, you know what I'm saying? And I don't have anything to say about them. And, I'm here to see what G-Con is talking about, and, you know what I'm saying? And we're going to support you. You know what I'm saying? We're going to do that, regardless of what the ideology is or the differences. I just want everybody to understand that we are a little solid unit. I mean, we're not claiming to be something, but we interact with each other on an everyday basis. So for him to try to throw that out there and try to make it seem like, brothers was being hypocritical and just, letting you say anything and you know, they agreeing with everything. That's not true. That's not true. You know what I'm saying, at all. And then on top of that, yeah, we do support you because we have differences, but it's things that we come together to agree on. And what's so funny is that people always saying that we can't come together because of different ideologies, but us as brothers are the intellectual ones that actually do come together. You know what I'm saying? See, they don't see this. We do come together, and we set our differences to a side, so we can do that. I don't know about other Hebrews or other people of the faith, and I don't know about other, you know, conscious people or anything out there like that. Well, Kansu and the rest of the brothers, we have come to terms where we can all just build and talk and not have to, you know, go through these frivolous arguments. You know what I'm saying? Some people come in, they get heated. But at the same time, we do more progress in these hangouts than brothers on these street corners do, brothers on the side of the couch do. And I'm just being honest, like it's not even a shot being thought. This is just a fact. We don't always sow disagreements and have arguments amongst each other all the time. Even Michael Edwards, he constantly tells people, "I love you. I'm sorry." Like he constantly do that. Now, even though he does come off the way he do.
Hey.
Now it might be but that's what I'm saying. See, and that's all cool right there because that's my brother's personal issue with another brother. That's not my personal issue with the brother. And that's what I want people to see, man. That they just can't sit up there and try to attack all of us because we associating with one another. We learn to put some of our differences to the side just to come together to agree on something. Point blank, period. You know what I mean? So who gonna get mad at that? I don't think that was right for him to try to, you know, send out those type of messages that was false about Mikael and Michael Edwards, man. You know what I mean? And that's something that he's trying to use to get other people involved. You get what I'm saying? So they can see it and be like, yeah, you know what, that is right. You know what I mean? And then have this feud to keep continuing. So I just wanted to say that. Just trying to do a different approach now, man. Just trying to get back to my senses and myself, man. Be humble.
Yeah, but just like I was telling LeBron before we started off, man, you give people the energy when you get to mentioning their name and stuff. People don't even know about most of these people till you mention their name. So sometimes it do better not to even say nothing about the problems, you know, unless you want to really highlight the individual and let the people know if they, you know, trying to slither in your circle, what type of person they are, you know. So, man,
Yeah, yeah, but let me get off into this text, man, and get it going and get it cracking there. What's going on? Peace to the brother on the panel, Manuel. What's going on, brother?
What's up, man? How's it going?
You know, man, just over here trying to break bread with the fellas, man. Glad to have you today. Glad you came in.
Yeah, sure, man. You too.
Have you got anything you want to say to the people, man? And any shots out or any lessons or anything you got going?
Uh, Not really right now. I'd say, are you guys are on the left politically, right?
I'm sorry.
You guys are politically on the left, right? Most of you guys.
You say on the left.
Here, I'll plug you on mic.
I think he's talking about the champ, man.
Most of you guys are left wing politically, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
I would say, just don't fall for the Sanders trap. Fake leftism.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, man. Like I said, we're gonna deal with some information here, and I don't know if you know anything about Esau and Jacob, but we're gonna deal with it today, man, and bring out some stuff from the biblical text here. So if everybody will please mute their mics, and I'm gonna go forth. I won't be long, and then we're gonna open back up for questioning, or if anybody want to put some type of input in, then you can do so. So this is what we're gonna do. All right. So let's read the text first. Let's screen share. We got to do that. Let's read the text. Let's bring it up. You know, we want to bring out, as the brother said earlier, Israel doctrine. We have to bring out the things that are literal with this, and the literal thing will lead us to the thing that's an allegory, to the allegory, and it's not really that technical or that deep. Go forth. Go jump up a little bit. All right, I'm finna screen share here. Hold on.
But to be more particular, he talking Isaac and Ishmael. That's the allegory. We don't speak on Esau and Jacob as being an allegory, but people try to equate the two, you know, because they're still dealing with the birthright. That show you that one don't know what they're talking about when they say it anyway.
Exactly. All right, so we're gonna go right here like that with it. Y'all can see my screen clearly.
That's right.
All right, so let's go jump up to this real quick. This is Word Search 7. Good program, real good. All the tools and books you need is in this. They got Word Search 8 that's out just as well. So, you know, all your little study tools is on this side. So whatever you need to enhance or to grow in the biblical text, it's on this side. You know, all books, all the if you want to download different versions of the Bible, maps, commentaries, all of those things. You know, the Hebrew, Greek, the Strongs, all of that is in this Word Search 7, which I have not updated to 8 yet. You know, so I need to update to that one. But let's deal with this. Let's jump to Genesis 25 and 23. Now let's jump up to 21. It says, and Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife, because she was barren, and the Lord was entreated of him, and Rebekah his wife conceived, and the children struggled together within her. Now this is the word we got hung up on the definition today, or what it means today. We're dealing with the brother who brought forth the information, Lex Lee Vortex. So his argument was that how can they struggle in the room scientifically or whatever the case may be, but let's deal with this and get to the root of this and get some understanding of this. Let's jump up and look at the word struggle.
Ratat.
Ratats. Okay.
Ratat.
Once again, right? Hebrew Strong's 7533. You see the usage of these words. Oppress 6 times, broken 4, break 3, bruise 2, crush 2. In the case of what this brother lacked, which is application, we're going to deal with the crush here, because this is how you apply this, right? So look at what it says. It says to crack in pieces, literal or figurative, to break, bruise, crush, discourage, oppress, struggle, or to struggle together. So basically, anybody that know anything about when a woman is in, when she has a child, anybody that got any kids know how the baby moves on the inside of the woman's belly. The baby presses or crushes up against things. The baby basically causes the whole stomach. You at some point in time, you can see the whole hand or head of this baby in this sack, or his feet up against the woman's stomach, or whatever. If he's by her rib cage, you can see all of these things. But I don't think the brother would know that, because the brother has no kids. I have 3 of them. I've witnessed it and I've seen it. I've seen my son's whole hand, go across his mom's belly in the womb. You know what I'm saying? So it's a great thing to look at. So
I don't have any kids, and I've seen it myself too.
Exactly. So it's nothing. This is simple. So look, to crush, or to break, or to oppress, or struggle together, or crack in pieces. This is simple, y'all. This is nothing hard. This is light work. So we see in the children struggle together, crushed up against each other within her, and she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And and she went to inquire of the Lord. Now, what he said here is that the book of Yeshua, he's in the book of Yasher. He said that the book says that basically she went to inquire of Shem. That's what it says. Let's click on this word right here. When it says Lord right here. Understand that this is Lord, capital, right? Look what it says. So in this place of this text, guess what will be here? The tetragramma. Yahweh, or YHWH, Yahuwah will be right there. You see what I'm saying? In the Hebrew Strongs, they say Yehovah. That's how they pronounce it in the Jewish language, right? So watch this. Look at this. This is simple. So this text says, from Moses' standpoint, in his view, he's saying that she inquired of Yehovah or Yahuwah, right? So it says, and the Lord said unto her, two nations. Once again, here's Lord again. Let's click on it again. Once again, not Shem. The Lord said unto her, two nations are in thy womb, and two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. Look at the Most High talking in his foreknowledge and what he knows what shall come of these children. And the one people shall be stronger than the other, and the elder shall serve the younger. So this is his foreknowledge and seeing what is going to take place and what is going to happen. Seeing which one is going to step away from his birthright and hated his birthright and sold his birthright. Let's go down and read a little bit more, because this is simple. This is nothing hard right here. This easy. If you can't understand this, this is simple. Watch this. And let's jump and let's see who Edom is. Y'all see my screen? Y'all see my screen? Yeah, sir. All right, so look, check this out. Edom, right? We ain't got to go far. This is simple. Wikipedia. It gives you sources. So if you want to go to the sources, you can go to the sources. Look up these terms. Edom, Tiberian, Edom, red, Assyrian, underline red. That's very important. We're going to deal with that. We ain't got to deal with it today, but we're going to get to it. Assyrian, basically. Aduma, Syriac, or Idumea, Greek. Latin, Idumea was a historical region of the southern Levant. So this is a literal people, right? Located south of Judea and the Dead Sea, modestly in the Negev. This is a literal people that they're talking about. Watch this. And not only are they mentioned in the Bible, they're actually mentioned in historical papyrus and also in historical writings. So this brother, once again, fails to apply the literal or historical beings, but he wants to say this is an allegory, right? All right, so it deals with some allegories, but for the most part, these are literal people. But he will have you to believe that the Bible is not literal. Watch this. And we're going to show you the actual struggle between these people in these lands, from the ancient times into the modern times. We ain't going to play no games, and we ain't got to go that far. Watch this. Watch what he says. It is mentioned in biblical records as a first millennium BC Iron Age kingdom of Edom. And in classical antiquity, the cognate name Idumea was used to refer to a smaller area in the same region, the Edomite language. Now understand this. Not only is Edom or the Edomites mentioned in the Maccabees, they also are mentioned amongst, guess who? The Egyptians. So we have a problem here. If these people were not literal, or this is an allegory, why is there a mention of these people? Watch this. The Hebrew word for Edom means red. He was right about something. Adam does mean red. Adam or Edom does deal with red. It does do. He was right about that. I agree with them. The root of them words stems back to Adam. So yes, you're correct. I understand it. I never disagreed with you on that. That was correct that you did that. I noticed in that video you only mentioned a certain people, but you didn't mention me because you already know that I know this, and we agree on that. It says, and the name was later given to Esau, the eldest son of the Hebrew patriarch Isaac, because he was red all over. Later, as a young adult, he ate red pottage. Watch this. Let's jump down real quick. Let's get to the nitty-gritty. Let's get to the nitty-gritty. Watch this. Let's jump to archaeological references. Watch this. The Edomites may have been connected with the Shashu or the Shatu or Shutu. Nomadic raiders mentioned in Egyptian sources. Once again, I told y'all, they mentioned in Egyptian sources. Indeed, a letter from an Egyptian scribe at a border fortress in the Wadi Tumalat during the reign of Merenptah reports movement of nomadic Shashu tribes of Edom to watering holes in Egyptian territory. The earliest Iron Age settlements, possibly copper mining camps, date to the 9th century BC. Settlements intensified by the late 8th century BC. Let's jump down a little bit. Let's jump down. Edom is mentioned in Assyrian cuneiform inscriptions in the form of Aduma or Adumu. 3 of its kings are known from the same sources. 3 of his kings are known from the same sources. Kash Malaka at the time of Teglath-Pileser III. Melik Ramu at the time of Sennacherib, 705 BC, and Kas Gabri at the time of Ashurhaddon. According to the Egyptian inscriptions, the Aduma, here it is right here, the name Aduma, which was translated in Edom in hieroglyphs. Watch this. And extended their possessions to borders of Egypt after the conquest of Judah by the Babylonians. Edomites settled in the region of Hebron. Watch this. I always teach this. The Nabateans pushed the Edomites out of their land from Edom up into Hebron. Watch this. This is history right here. This brother say they ain't literal though, but we gonna see the struggle. It says Edomites settled in the region of Hebron. They prosper in the new country called by the Greeks and Romans Idumea for more than 4 centuries. Strabo, you can go to his writings, writing around the time of Christ, held that the Idumeans, whom he identified as of Nabatean origin. Why would he say Nabatean origin? Because they was pushed by the Nabateans out of their land and then pushed into Hebron. But he said Nabatean origin because if you look up Nabateans, guess what they was? They was Arabs. Constituted the majority of the population of Western Judea, where they commingled with the Judeans and adopted their customs. This happened in the book of Maccabees. Think I'm a lie? Search it up. So let's jump from that. We got enough history on that. Let's jump somewhere. Go back to the biblical text. That's what we're going to do. Now watch this. So look. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb. 2 manner of people should be separated from thy bowels. And one people should be stronger than the other, and the elder shall serve the younger. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there was twins in her womb. Just imagine all that moving across and coming across the belly and bumping and crushing into each other, not knowing that this will be the faith of these 2 people, that these 2 people will live to live out their days in a struggle with each other. So this is the allegory aspect of them, of the literal struggle. See what I'm saying? So this is showing us that there is a literal struggle and showing us the whole spiritual concept behind it just as well, because it deals with the spiritual concept behind it too. We're going to get to that. Watch this. And the Lord said, hold on, and it says, and there were twins in her womb, and the first came out red. Once again, let's bring that out.
Admoni.
Admoni. Root is from 119. He was right. Watch this.
Adam.
Adam, right? So he wasn't lying on that. To show blood in the face, flush, or turn rosy, be dyed, made red or ruddy. The brother was correct on that. So watch this. Let's jump a little bit more. Watch this. So he came out red. All right? Ruddy twice, red once. Total count 3 times. It's been used. Watch this. It's Adumoni from 119. Adam, reddish, of the hair or of the complexion, red, ruddy. Right? Okay, we understand that. Nothing wrong with that. Watch this. Look over Harry.
Say R.
Say R. This is where we get Sire from, just as well too. Watch this. Watch what it says. It says, and the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, which is Sayar, right? And they call his name Esau. Esau, right? Handling rough. So he was rough. That's why they didn't call him Esau because he was red. They call him Esau because he handled rough, and he was rough in general. He was like a hairy garment. He was rough. He was hairy, right? We're going to get to the fact when they start calling him Esau. When they start calling him Edom. It says, and after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel. Once again, I believe this is a literal concept just as well as a spiritual concept. Always will. The struggle for the blessing or the struggle for the inheritance is taking place within this womb by 2 people who, by God's foreknowledge, is showing us something here and what's going to take place in their faith, in their life down the line just as well. As it started from the beginning, Jacob took hold on the heel of Esau. But once again, the first will serve the younger by the foreknowledge of God and what he's seen in these 2 people. Watch this. And his name was called Jacob, and Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them. So this is literal. These are literal people, y'all. These are literal people. They are actually people that's in the Middle East that's called Edom. Understand that. And Jacob. This across the world and scattered. These are literal people. It says, and the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, and a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man, dwelling in tents, dwelling in booths. And Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison, because Rebekah loved Jacob. I'm telling you, anybody that can cook and cook real good, they probably gonna be your favorite if your belly is your God. Let's understand that. So if you like to eat and you know somebody can cook real good, 9 times out of 10, that's gonna be your best friend. Or if it's a woman, it probably end up in later on in life being your woman because she can cook her behind off. You know what I'm saying? So hey, look. So let's go forth. It says, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents, and Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison, but Rebekah loved Jacob. Now watch this. And Jacob sod pottage. Let's look up that word pottage real quick. Nazid. Hebrew Strongs, 5138. Let's look what it says. Something boiled, soup, pottage. Okay, let's deal with it. We deal with it. So Jacob sod pottage, and Esau from the field. Esau came from the field, and he was faint. And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage. Once again, let's look up that word red right there. Watch this.
Adom.
Adom, ruddy, right? And we're gonna deal with Ruddy too. Rosie, Red, Ruddy, we're gonna deal with that. Watch this. It says, I pray thee with that same red pottage, for I am faint, therefore was his name called Edom. Let's look up Edom. And Dome, almost the same thing. But its roots is from 122. Watch this. Let's look up that. Adom. And it traced back with its root from
Adam.
See what I'm saying? We in the ballpark. Nothing different. We in the ballpark. Just break it down all the way going back to the roots of it. Watch this. Let's jump down real quick.
So what's the argument about the fact that this ain't literal or that it's allegorical? Because as I said in the beginning, you know, it's really Ishmael and Isaac. When you go to the New Testament and read about their story being allegory of the Old and the New Covenant, what type of allegory one trying to use when dealing with Esau and Jacob?
I mean, as a universe concept, talking about the flesh and spirit of a man. Basically, that's what he used it as. Matter of fact, hold on for a minute. Before I do all of that, let's do this. I don't want to quote the brother nothing wrong. We can do it like this. Go ahead, speak on, and we're gonna speak on.
All right, let me add something to that. And I'm gonna wait till at the end to really give the definite marker of why this is not something that's supposed to be taken at an allegorical level. It can be and it should be, like all scripture should be, but you have to use both. This whole thing about Esau, and this actually crushes a lot of the black Hebrew Israelite doctrine as well. When it says that, because you know a lot of people go to Second Esdras, whatever like that. Within inside of this passage that you're actually dealing with, it shows you that the elder will serve the younger. All right, this is what this story is about concerning the birth and why he was holding on to the heel of his brother, and also why the birthright went to him because he rejected the birthright. Second Maccabees deals with the same thing. That is the prophecy that was fulfilled when it says that Esau is the end of the word, because they ended their word. They converted these people over into being Jews. They were no longer considered to be Edomites no more. That name don't even exist in history no more.
LeBron, stop sharing your screen and mute your mic if you listen to something.
Yeah, because I want to bring this video up real quick. That way to respond to what you were saying. That way we can see, because I don't want to quote this brother wrong. But let me bring this video up real quick. That way y'all can see this video. So mute y'all mics, and then when y'all heard, y'all respond on it.
Oh Lord.
So I'm finna play this. Can y'all see that?
All right, peace once again, family. Once again, you're entered the vortex, and I'm gonna do a brief dissertation on the idiotic understanding of the Hebrew Israelites concerning Jacob and Esau. Now, these brothers claim that this book is literal and that people like me try to make everything metaphysical. But I'm going to show you how stupid and silly this is to believe this is literal, and why it can't be literal. The story of Jacob and Esau, for those who don't know, is where Hebrew Israelites say their descendancy comes from. They descended from Jacob, and so-called white people descend from Esau or Edomites. You know what LaRon Campbell soup is, the Edomite. So I'm gonna read this story and show you, because they talk a lot of trash about what I don't understand.
Pause, please.
And all of this. Let me read a little bit.
Go ahead, brother.
Now, how could it be an allegory, yet you are an Edomite? If it's an allegory and not true, then you're not a descendant of a fictional character. Don't make no sense.
Exactly. What's going on? How you doing? Yeah.
It's the fact that the story of Jacob and Esau is a foreshadowing of what happened in the Maccabees.
Right, but I'm just
That's
saying,
it.
if you said people are not literal, like most people try to say about the Bible, right? Then you're not a descendant of a fictional character. You can't be a descendant of a fictional character. You know, that's just like the argument that, you know, what is God good or evil? If you don't believe in God, he's neither, because he don't exist. You know what I'm saying? Is the God of the Bible good or evil? Well, you say the God of the Bible don't exist, so how could he be good or evil and he don't even exist to be? He's not. So that's a crazy statement or argument in itself when people make statements like that, like it's an allegory, it's not true, and then people are not literal. So if they're not literal, you can't be of their genealogy or bloodline because they don't exist. The bloodlines don't. So
Now,
that's all I wanted to deal with, you know.
I won't take away from the brother's
Right. That's what I was thinking. That's what I
understanding.
was thinking. Oh, my fault, Yeshaya.
Come with,
That's what
bro.
I. How could LaRon be an Edomite if Edomites don't exist? Yeah, yeah. This brother, that you know what? That just killed it right there. That brother got a chemical imbalance.
I, I'm going to agree. I'm going to agree with Lex on the fact that you can draw an allegorical understanding from this concerning. He's right. It is representing on that level as far as the natural flesh and the spirit, because we see the New Testament also use that same reference. You can't be of the Edomite, but not lineage, but you can't basically have the spirit of Edom on you because we know Esau rejected his birthright. Therefore, you can't get it. It's not yours to obtain. But Israel, is up to Israel to obtain it. And this is why Israel has to become spiritual. Esau was thinking carnally with his belly. You get what I'm saying? And it was already prophesied that Jacob was accepted before the whole contention happened. So I agree with him on that. But the
Well,
other things are definitely erroneous. That
I
it
don't
is.
want to.
It's erroneous, like you pointed out. That's an oxymoron to say that. You know what I mean? It is. And,
No, that's
you know,
We can have it out later. We ain't gonna debate on this show. We're gonna let him finish. But I know Esau is a literal person. If you read the book of Obadiah, it's a future prophecy, and Edom still exists.
right. But
And
the
so,
point is this:
that's all
as
good.
I stated earlier, you can make an allegory of anything. I can make an allegory out of my bicycle and my tricycle when I was younger. You know what I'm saying? And show you how I grew in levels and degrees of riding a bike, not 3 wheels, but 2 wheels. So you can make an allegory of anything. You know what I'm saying? The thing is, it's got to be something literal. It got to be something that exists. Then you can make an allegory of it. So to say any part of the Bible is an allegory, or you try to make it out of an allegory, is possible. But will it make sense? Will it be based up on the understanding of the biblical text? I don't see that most of the time when people do
I,
that.
But so
now
hold on,
I'm
hold on.
I give it to him. I give it to him with that. I give it to him with that. Like, because like I said, even Paul made the same. Even Paul made an allegory about it. So
He
I'm
made
not
it
disagreeing with
about.
the allegorical part, but the physical part is definitely there. They're
He
But
made
definitely
it
physical beings.
hold on. Let's listen to what he said first before we get to. I see what
okay.
you saying. I see what you saying. I see what you saying, Carl, and it's definitely right. But Wayne, listen to the word West what he's saying, because he's going to tell you what the allegory is. And I'm telling him that that allegory that you're saying what it is he knocks out the literal aspect of these actual people. Watch
Oh
what
yeah,
he's going to
no
say.
doubt, no doubt.
He's
I
going to
understand that.
what he's going to do is he's going to take an allegory and is going to try to dismiss the literal aspect of that allegory. Watch this, and just going to try to say these people was just telling a story to express an allegory, but the literal story is it's of no importance. Watch what he's finna do, and see that's the problem. He's going to tell you that the literal story, if this happened or not, is of no importance, but it's the allegory and the message behind, which he had to realize that both of them serve a purpose, and both of the context is very important. Watch what he's finna say.
I got the Bible here. This is Genesis. We're in Genesis. Give me a second here. think it's 25. I'm gonna show you how ridiculous these dudes are and why there can't be no descendancy from a Jacob and Esau. All right? Since you want to talk shit, you dumb Israelite, I'm gonna expose these dudes to show you how this can't even be true. How it's scientifically impossible. Listen to this. This is Genesis 25. And we'll start at the 21st verse. Okay? And it said, and Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife because she was barren, right? And the Lord was entreated of him, and Rebekah, his wife, conceived. Now check this out. And the children struggled together within her. And she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord. Now listen to this. This is how these dumb Israelites, right here and here, I'm going to show you something so simple. Why this breaks down their whole descendancy and their whole doctrine about Jacob and Esau being a white man and you know, these born natural enemies, right, of black people and white people. You know why? Because babies can't struggle in the womb. Think about this. Listen, I'm going to read this again for you. And the children struggled together within her. So this is what they believe. Michael Edwards believes this. Mikael believes this. Kevin Yahawada, the dude Masada, who be what I call him Mashida, believes this. Who else would believe this? But some assholes. Now, if you ever seen a newborn baby that comes out the womb, they can't even hold a pencil. They barely have any strength. Okay? You ever seen a newborn baby? You dumb Israelite? A newborn baby.
Let me say this. Somebody got something going on in their background. Somebody mute their mic.
Oh, my bad. Yahweh says.
All right. So listen. Let me send Yahweh this link. If anybody got the link, I think I sent it in the inbox. Send Yahweh the link. Hey, so listen. Now the brother just said out his own mouth. I'm telling you, I've been to on all with 2 occasions of my son being born, besides the other one when I got there late. But for the most part, I've seen my sons when the doctors come to put stuff in their face, moving their hands out the way, basically saying, "Get up off me," basically. You know what I'm saying? And doing certain things, reaching out. Both of my sons, when they was born, both of them reached up and had their hands in the air, trying to push anything away from them at that time because they just wanted to be cleared out. They just came up out of that tight spot, and they just wanted people up out of their way for reals. So he's never. I don't know if he's never experienced that or seen any of that, but I just wanted to bring that out.
So if you got twins in the room, right? These twins, they're both connected to the placenta of the woman, and they're in the womb, side by side, and they're struggling. The baby in the womb, I think, it is not even conscious like that, aware that it's twin brothers. So what are they in the womb? Are they boxing? Answer that question, you dumbasses. Like the babies in the womb, like they got on boxing gloves and they're struggling within the womb. No, because this is the womb of the universe, you idiot. And it's talking about the physical man that's born in the spirit and the spiritual man. And then Paul alludes to it, how the spirit warfare against the flesh. But that's all. I'm not even going to give you the knowledge. I'm just going to go through how stupid.
Now watch this. Now here's his problem, y'all. Now y'all watch what he just said, right? Now how y'all see how he applied the usage of that and saying Paul said that it relates to the spirit and the flesh. Well, hold on. That's not what Paul said. Paul took you to the allegory that was dealing with the two sons, Isaac and Jacob.
Nah. Isaac and Ishmael.
I mean Isaac and Ishmael, basically. So he never really dealt with the thing that Romans 9. I'm sorry. He took you to the allegory that was dealing with it's Romans 9, when it was dealing with Esau and Jacob, and why he hated why the Most High hated Jacob and chose out of hated Esau and chose out of their disposition, chose Jacob. By his foreknowledge, he knew already this brother was wicked already and was gonna sell his birthright. So why would he choose him?
Hey, LeRon, check this out though. Brothers don't really be in the nursery room that much, because there's instances where babies actually do latch onto each other, where they hold hands and all of that coming out of the womb. You know what I'm saying? So it's not something that's allegorical in that sense. And just to add my own understanding to it, a struggle with twins inside of a belly doesn't sound like they're rumbling. You know what I'm saying? It just gives you the understanding that she's going through a lot of pain. She's dealing with a lot of the movement that these babies are, you know what I'm saying, conducting in her body. You know what I mean? And that can be correlated to get people at that time to understand, as far as an analogy goes, that they're fighting. All right? Because we got to understand something. We have other scriptures that basically are enhanced inside looks at the prophecies of the past, which the one that you just brought up, the Maccabees that I was talking about that we all know of. You know what I'm saying? These prophecies are being explained in an in-depth way through what's already going on in the future from this prophecy right here. They was destroyed. They had to come into Israel. You know what I'm saying? Israel was able to rule over the Edomites. You know what I'm saying? And then, Harag got his little ways, but that's neither here nor there. And then what Paul was dealing with. You know what I mean? About even Esau trying to repent, even with tears, could not obtain the birthright again. He gave it up. And that's letting us know that we can't do the same thing. We can't be out here playing games and let this birthright go that's entitled to us, like Esau did. So you can draw analogies from it. And I don't take away from the analogy that Lex is using, but I do take away the insult and taking away that physical, literal aspect of it, that these were real people, all right, in a real time zone, expressing these things.
But see,
and that story was passed down.
This is why I take away from his analogy. And see, I'm gonna show you the problem that's going on in the biblical text and dealing with the believers and everyone that come forth to deal with this text. Here's the danger of it. The danger of it when you take away from the concept and put this is perversion. See, that's all it is. So I must speak out about it. For instance, if you're talking about the concept of what it's dealing with, talking about the universe and the physical and the flesh going against the spiritual, right? Now, one thing I have a problem with is this is a literal sense, a literal text. So if you're going to keep it literal, it is something that actually took place and happened, right? It does relate
Amen.
It does relate to a spiritual account. I agree with that. So it is seen as the spirit warring against the flesh, and you can't use that because we do see that. But to take away or decrease minus the literal event, that's folly, and say this didn't actually take place. So what they're telling us is we have no history, or there is no lineage of these people. There was no Esau. Did they just use these names and came up with allegories for these people? That's the whole thing. There was no struggle. When we do our research in the book of Maccabees, as you said, then we look at basically the actual struggle between these people as we see it Psalms 83.
Exactly. Completely correct. And
exactly.
It just shows that the brother, and listen, it just shows that brothers, if they put what they want into the Bible, because another definite marker that shows you that this is what the Hebrews wanted us to understand is that when you do the research on the Aleph and Tav, we see that Esau's name has the Aleph and Tav from the jump. Soon as he rejected that birthright, he no longer had the olive and top on him through the rest of the scriptures. And this basically shows us that he was rejected and Jacob was accepted. This is where the hate concept coming at, that everybody gets this crazy weird doctrine from, because Jacob continues to keep having the olive and top on him. Because we know that the birthright goes to the firstborn. But he rejected it. And he did not have the identification marker for the promise no more. So this is why brothers can't, like let other brothers, I understand when they're trying to put in a deeper understanding, they can draw some type of understanding from the biblical text. But when you try to change the ideology of what the Hebrew people that wrote the book, you're committing a crime. You know what I'm saying? You're committing a crime by doing that, because they're leaving us clues and telling us that they believe that this story happened. And it's not to be taken just on a metaphysical or on an allegorical understanding for it. They want you to take this literal.
That's the problem when people get into all that. You know what I'm saying? It's a time and a place for that, but you know, for the most part, you know, anybody that don't want to deal with the book in a literary aspect, right? Things being literal, then they always gonna try to make it out of an allegory, and then dealing with that, they go into some crazy place because they trying to get real spiritual with something now and leave the physical out. So really the story of Jacob and Esau is just telling you about this family and how the birthright went to one and then go to the other, this, that, in the simplest form. Then if you want to deal with it even deeper, I mean, we shouldn't sell our soul. I mean, we get Jesus telling you about that. You know, people of the world sell their soul. And when you deal with the world, you deal with the physical aspects of the world. Once again, going back to the physical. So when you look at them worried about eating in his stomach and this, that, you know, man shouldn't live by bread alone, but every word that proceeds from God. So what is bread? It's literal, you know, bread, and then bread is also known as food, sitting down breaking bread or eating together. So, I mean, it's, you got to get deep, man.
Yeah, that was deep.
So let's
Let me put my 2 cents in, LeRon, before you finish. Let me just put mine in there. Okay, that ain't gonna take long. And basically interject into what y'all saying. I mean, you can really get real simple with it. First of all, anybody who sell their birthright, sell. Let's get that straight across. Jacob never stole anything. Matter of fact, Jacob didn't even dress himself up. Jacob was a child. His mother dressed him up because she understood the prophecy. So you want to put it on anybody, you put it on his mother, not on Jacob. Jacob was innocent in the whole thing. Now, second, you know what I'm saying? The scriptures, the same royal law that was given to Moses, one of the first things it said was honor thy father and mother. Do you know if you disregard your birthright, that's the worst disrespect to your father in Hebrew culture? When your father, the birthright is a straight reflection of your father's inheritance that he left you. You see what I'm saying? So he just broke a commandment when he did that. Not only that, and just to tell somebody, if you want to know who Esau literally, since I know the brother like to get all into the science and stuff, he's so much more intelligent than everybody. Then since you like science so much, why don't you do this simple thing? Go look up sickle cell anemia traits. And go find out who is the only other person on the planet besides the quote-unquote Negro that's African American and Caribbean that get sickle cell. And you found out who Edom is.
All right, so let's go real quick. Let's listen to a little bit more.
But you are, since you want to talk shit. Now let's read on. So and the children struggled together within her, and she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord. Now, when you read inquire of the Lord here, you think that she went to talk to God, right? And God, but no, if you read the book of Jasher, she went to talk to Shem, I believe it was, who was still alive at this time according to the book of Joshua. It might have been someone else, but I think it was Shem. So when you read here, inquire of the Lord, if you read the book of Joshua, She actually went to Elder. So, and the Lord said to her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and the one people shall be stronger than the other, and the elder shall serve the younger. You hear this? So they believe that this is a prophecy about Jacob, which would be black people, which is not black people, and Esau, which is white people, right? Which this is what the Hebrew Israelites say. And so let's read on. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb, and the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel. Stop right there. You idiots. You ever seen a newborn baby? A newborn baby, about as much as they're going to grip is your pinky finger. Most of their hands...
Stop it right there, Lamar, please.
Oh, please. The most they're going to grip is a pinky finger, if that.
What'd you say?
Now, I just want to say something, because if we're going to sit up here and, listen to the brother, I think it's fair that we do break down his video in a segment, because, first of all, the Bible tells you that the angel of the Lord was actually talking to this woman. So either the Bible's right or the book of Jasher is right, so he still has to confirm which one is that he rely on to be credible, but he doesn't believe in it anyway. All right? Second of all, he, like I said before, anybody can go and do the research. Babies are known to grip certain parts of their twins when they're coming out of the womb. This is something that is recorded in in the medical field. So again, I think it's the lack of research, the lack of really applying the physical to the spiritual aspect right here, and that's something that is very dangerous when you lack the research behind the spiritual essence that you're talking about. Like Albert said, you know what I'm saying? You cannot take away that physical, and brothers don't really look into this stuff. You know what I'm saying? They don't understand that this stuff is actually recorded. This is something that we can go look at. So he's definitely wrong for this whole section right here. It's erroneous. No shots at the brother, but it's just a lack of study with the physical. Like, people got to really get connected with the body that you in and start doing some physical research. You know what I'm saying? People claim to be scientists. Scientists do what? They try to get to the spiritual. They deal with the physical to see how the spiritual made it. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to interject on that.
Excellent point, brother. Excellent point. Watch this. Yeah, he right. We do need to a segment that y'all see. We're gonna chop him to pieces. Not him, but the information to pieces.
And they're just gonna be doing that by just nervous reaction. But right here, right, when one baby's born, that baby comes out first. So in order for the baby to come out, and for another baby to have his hands on his heels, the babies would have had to basically come out at the same time, and they would have seen a hand on the heel of Esau. This is allegory, you ignoramus dummy. And it represents the physical man that first comes out, you, before the awakened Christ comes in you, the inner man, dumbass. So look at this. And when the days, and so after they came out, his brothers, and after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter and a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man and dwelling in tents. Now here's the funny thing. They claim Adam was the first man, a black man. The word Adam and Edom have the same root. So if Edom was a white man, Adam would be a white man. They have the same root, man. Just go online or Strong's Concordance or anything, and you'll see it's the same word. Adam means blood, to blush red in the face. Okay, Adam, Edom, same word. Dummies.
All right, so look, that's basically enough of that. So let's get back to the text, because as we see, this brother, he don't understand and know what's going on. So let's get back to the text. Let me see something real quick. As y'all can see my screen, once again, let me show y'all something and show y'all what we're dealing with. We're gonna deal with Adam. We're gonna deal with Red, because he took the uses and he made Edom white, which I have no problem with. But we're gonna deal with that, because that is not right and that is wrong. We're gonna deal with that.
Well,
It
he
said,
didn't make them white. He said the Israelites or the black Hebrew Israelites say that Edom is the white man, which we know some of them perpetuate their teaching. But that's Mikael was saying, deal with the sickle cell thing, and you'll really pinpoint Edom. You know.
yeah, you're right. He did. He said in regards to them saying what it is. And so I want to bring out something real quick, because like I said before, as y'all seen the symbolic meaning that he gave to it, which is not accurate, which there are symbolic. I would think, why would he apply that symbolic meaning when there's actually symbolic meanings that's in the biblical text dealing with the actual allegories of the context? I don't understand why he did that. Like, eventually, like, this is why we say precept upon precept, because if you're going to use this Bible, then you also need to go to where the allegory is explained at. And deal with the context of Esau and also of Jacob, and see what was the Most High trying to say to us in the spiritual aspect as well as the literal sense. Because we have actual wars spawning from these people in the ancient times up until now. And we got to deal with that. So watch this. Let's continue in this passage real quick and look up something real quick. It says, and Jacob said, sell me this day thy birthright. And Esau said, behold, I am at the point to die. And what profit should the birthright do to me? Look, as once again, this brother he wants the birthright. Now, if y'all look in historical and archaeology, y'all will see that the inheritance of that land is something that was very important, or the inheritance of the father is something that was important. And at this point in time, it was dealing with the inheritance that was said that would be given from Abraham to Abraham and his seed, and also down to Isaac and his seed. And we see the lineage there as it breaks down all the way down and gets to basically Yahushua, Jesus. So watch this. He says, and what profit shall the birthright do to me? In other words, Jacob, since the birth, he been on it about this birthright, being the heel catcher, trying to come out first just to receive this birthright. Watch. And Jacob says, swear to me this day. And he swore unto him, and he sold his birthright. Now understand this. When the brother brought out the scripture earlier, when he said that he brought out a text earlier where he said that Jacob is the beginning and Esau is the end, right? That's what he said. Understand this. Reason why that scripture and that passage is very important, and what is it trying to explain to us, is that Esau will be actually the end of the world, and the spirit of Esau that will be on many just as well as the physical Esau. Because what do men do? They will sell their souls for food. They will sell their blessings or their inheritance for food. And that's what this context is actually telling us here just as well too. And these are the people that's actually of that land and that's surrounding that land just as well. They are selling themselves for food. Now watch this. He says, and sold his birthright unto Jacob. Matter of fact, there is a scripture that says that he hated Esau because Esau despised his birthright. Watch this. Let's go on. Swear to me this day. He swore unto him, and he sold his birthright unto Jacob. Then Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage of lentils. Watch this. We ain't got to go far. Read right here. Let's look this up. Adash. Watch this. From an unused root of uncertain meaning and lentil and lentil or lentil, right? Now watch this. Anybody that know anything about lentils, let's look it up. Look it up. We ain't got to play no games with it. Let's look it up. Anybody that know anything about, look up. Let's go to images. Lentil beans. Look up. Lentil soup. That's what he had. He had lentil soup.
Pottage.
Huh?
Pottage. Man, I'm finna bounce, man. It's really giving me like a little headache, man. You know.
All right, peace, bro. You didn't have to say you had a headache. You could have just bounced. I'll let you in a minute, man.
Nah, man. You know what it is, man. This stuff give me a headache, man.
All right, that's cool. We got you. We'll handle you. I mean, we'll speak to you later on.
All right, man. Y'all sit over here and swallow that net.
All right, peace. So anyway, yeah. So look, we're looking at lentil beans here, or lentil polish right here, right? So as we looking at these lentils, the majority that you see over here and you look on her is of a chocolate color or of a brown skin color. So the concept of looking at lentils as being, and this is ruddy, because that's what ruddy means. That's what red means. In the ancient times, ruddy, if I told you to go bring me a red heifer, you didn't come back with no white heifer or no white bullock. You came back with what? A red heifer that was of this color, mahogany. This was the ancient red, a chocolate or a brick type of color, and this was the color of Adam. That's what people don't understand. Why? Because he was the color of the earth or the clay. He was made from dust or the clay of the earth. So that's common sense when we look at this. So watch this. We pull up something else. What we got going on here? What we got going on here? If I told you to go get me a red heifer, and it just told you he was hairy and came out red like a garment, like a hairy garment, this is red. This is ruddy right here. And this is how your Egyptians depicted themselves, as this same color, as a ruddy color, a mahogany color. This is what they call red in the ancient times. Adam, the color of the soil. Look at this. This is simple. There ain't nothing hard about this. This is how we get it in. This is how we pull it out. Watch this. Let's jump back to the text. We ain't got to go far. So, okay, let's look at it. And the boys drew. Esau was a cunning hunter, man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man. Let's jump. We up too far. Then Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage, and of lentils. Now, your One West camps, they try to tell you he gave him red meat, not even understanding the text. But we ain't gonna get there. And he did eat and drank and rose up and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright and sold his birthright for some food. So we got to look at those concepts. So hold on. Let me see what's going on over here, because I got all types of activity in the background, and I don't know what the deal is. Well, anyways, yeah. So we see this right here, and we see lentils. Let me see, where am I at? Who is that? Hold on, I gotta stop this. Let me stop these notifications. All right, there we go. All right, so look, we in the house now. For those that want to get in, I posted the information on the page to get in on the live. I mean, on the when I made the group. I mean, the hangout. That's how you can get in. But right now, I ain't finna be what you call. So we see that, right? All right. So look, let's jump back to the information. Let's jump to another scripture real quick. This is the allegory that he should have went to. Matter of fact, let's jump to Psalms 83. Watch this. Psalms 83. Psalms 83. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, yeah. I'm missing something. Oh, here it is right here. All right. Something one. All right. Psalms 83. Watch what it says. Keep not thou silence, O God. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy hidden ones, or against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. Let me see what the deal is here. Somebody trying to contact or get in some way, but it's throwing me off a little bit. What's going on, brother? One of the brothers came in, I think. All right, so look. All right, so jump back. All right, so look. I gotta stop this. All right, so I had to stop that. Hopefully it'll stop. All right, so look. Let's jump back over there. All right, so he said, they have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. So this is what the brother's trying to do, right? What they're trying to do is, I've heard this brother out of his own mouth say that everybody is Christ, or Christ is in everybody. I've heard him say that. That's incorrect. Now watch this. They want to cut off the name of Israel from being a nation, that the name of Israel be no more in remembrance. Why? Because if you cut off Israel, then you cut off Israel's God, and you cut off the historical events that took place with his mighty hand that brought Israel out to bring them in covenant with him. And that's the purpose. Watch this. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. Who? The tabernacles of Edom. Did we not just get done talking about Edom? Did we not pull them up in history on how the Egyptians viewed them and the Assyrians and other people viewed them? And the Ishmaelites. Who are the Ishmaelites? We could bring that up too. That talks about it right before you get to Jacob. I mean, to Jacob and Esau. Of Moab, the Jordanians, and the Hagarenes. These are your Arabs. These are your Confederate Arabs. Gebal, Ammon, Amalek, the Philistines, are the Canaanites and the Palestinians, with the inhabitants of Tyre. These are your Islamic and Arabs to this day. Ashur also is joined with them. They have Hopland, the children of Lot. So these are all these people as we look in the text. So earlier we talked about this is a literal confederacy that took place. Now watch this. We talked about the Nabateans early on. We're dealing with Esau, the Edomites. Except to Obadiah. Remember, these people are confederate with each other. Watch what he says in Obadiah about Esau. This is about the inheritance that's taking place and who's going to get the inheritance of Abraham. It was passed down unto Isaac and his seed and his seed and his seed. This is what it's about. It's about the inheritance. And this is what they're fighting over to this day. Watch this. Verse 7, Obadiah 1 and 7. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. All what men? The men that we read back in Psalms 83. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee. So they was at peace with Edom. They was in confederacy against Edom to wipe out Israel. And we see this physical struggle from the birth and also in historical events up into modern times. This is simple. It says that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. Watch this. Watch what they finna do. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. Remember, we talked about that, the border of Hebron, into their border of Edom, and pushed them out of Edom into the border of Hebron. Watch this. Let's go to that. Let's go to that. Let's jump to it back again. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. Watch this. Jump to it. At times extended their possessions to the borders of Egypt. After the conquest of the Edomites settled in the region of Hebron, they prospered in the new country. Watch this. Jump to Nabateans real quick. The Nabateans, also Nabateans. Compared to ancient Greek, Nabateans were ancient Arab people who inhabited North Arabia and the southern Levant. Once again, I told you they was Arabs, whose settlements in AD 37 to 100 gave the name of Nabatean to the borderline between Arabia and Syria. Right? Watch this. Trojan conquered the Nabatean kingdom, annexing is the Roman Empire, where their individual culture easily identified by their characteristics, finely potted painted ceramics became dispersed and the general Greco-Roman culture was eventually lost. So watch this. The extent of Nabatean trade resulted in cross-cultural influence that reached as far as the Red Sea coast of the southern Arabia. It says the brief Babylonian captivity of the Hebrews that began in 586 BCE opened a minor power vacuum in Judah prior to the Judeans' return under the Persian king, Cyrus the Great. And as Edomites moved into open Judean grazing lands, Nabatean inscriptions began to be left in Edomite territory. Watch this. The first definite appearance was of 312 to 311 BC when they were attacked at Sela or perhaps Petra without success by Antigonus I, officer Antonius, as part of the third war of the Diadochi. At that time, Hermanus or Kadia of Seleucid officer mentioned the Nabateans in a battle report about 50 BC. So these are literal people, right? These are literal people. Now watch this. The Nabateans pushed Edom out of their possession unto the border of Hebron. Hold on for a minute. Watch what it says. It says, about the time we begin to find records of Nabateans living in Edomite territory, which we just read earlier, did they migrate into the area when the Edomites left, or had they been present for hundreds of years, living quietly alongside of the Edomites? Most historians believe that the Nabateans must have migrated into Edomite territory when the Edomites started their move north. However, I now believe that the Nabateans were living in Edomite territory long before this, and it was only when the Edomites left that the Nabateans gained enough prominence to obtain the homeland that they could call their own. I also believe that Nabateans lived in other places in the Middle East at the same time, setting up their small tent. Well, this is what this brother saying is on this what's called, but we have events to where the Nabateans was getting into it with them, and they pushed them to the borders just as well, even though they was Arabs, but they were still getting into it with each other. Watch this. And all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee, that they eat thy bread and have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. So we see that this took place. So let's look up now. Let's deal with the portion of when the portion that what's called should have went to, Lex should have went to, with dealing with Jacob and Esau. This is where he should have been at, right here. This is where he should have been at. This is where he should have been at, right here. For this is the word. Let's jump to verse 10, 9 and 10. And not only this, but when Rebekah also had conceived by one, even by our father Isaac, for the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil, that the purpose of God according to election might stand, not of works, but of him that calleth. It was said to her, the elder shall serve the younger. As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. Now, when we look at these scriptures and we look at this verse, we see what this is dealing with. This is dealing with the disposition of two children, Esau and Jacob. And as it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. Why did the Most High hate Esau? Because he, by his foreknowledge, he knew that Esau was not concerned about the blessing, about the birthright. So therefore, he hated Esau because Esau, he knew by his foreknowledge that this brother was not on it. This brother was not concerned, but food was his main concern on how he should survive. Which that's understandable, but to sell your blessing for the birthright, this is what the whole text is talking about. It's talking about a fighting, a war, literally, and also in the spiritual realm due to the birthright or due to the blessings. So that's what we're dealing with. So if you're going to bring the literal concept, I mean the spiritual concept, bring out the literal. And if you are going to make a spiritual concept out of it, please bring something that relates to the text where you derive your literal concept from. Once again, as Carl said, you cannot bring forth this information except you have something literal or tangible to get it from. And that's what you failing to do, bro. Inaccuracy of the text is causing you to be a failure at understanding it fully to its capacity. So watch this. We're going to bring out one more thing and then we're going to close it up. We're going to bring out one more thing, then we're going to close it up. Let's jump to let's jump to Genesis 27. We got to get here because we got to get to the blessings, because this is actually a literal thing, because Abraham was promised something that was literal. He was promised something that was literal, which was the land, and he was told to look out and see. And he was going to give his sons, and his seed that land. So we're going to show you why this is literal, and what this is actually concerning, and why the struggle is very important. Let's look at the blessing. Genesis 27 and 27. And he came near and kissed him. And he smelled the smell of his remnant and blessed him and said, see, the smell of my son is as the smell of the field which the Lord hath blessed. Therefore God give thee of the dew of heaven and of the fatness of the earth, which is the land Israel, and plenty of the corn and wine. Let people serve thee and nations bow down to thee. Be Lord over thy brethren, and let thy mother's sons bow down to thee. Cursed be everyone that curseth thee, and blessed be he that blesseth thee. It says, and it came to pass as soon as Isaac had made an end of blessing Jacob, and Jacob was yet scarce gone out from the presence of Isaac his father, that Esau his brother came in from his hunting. And he made a savory meat and brought it unto his father. So we see that Jacob is given the blessing in spite of Esau. When Esau promised him that birthright, but when it came time, he didn't uphold his word. So therefore, Rebekah sought to fulfill the promise, or fulfill what he failed to do, what Esau failed to do, selling his birthright, and swore to him. But when it came nigh towards the promise and the fulfilling of getting that birthright, Esau act like wasn't nothing popping, or he had not heard prior to what was going on. And Isaac his father said, who art thou? And he said, I am thy son, thy firstborn Esau. And Isaac trembled very exceedingly and said, who? Where is he that hath taken venison and brought it me? I have eaten of all before thou camest, and have blessed him. Yea, and he shall be blessed. And when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceeding bitter cry, and said unto his father, bless me, even me also, O my father. And he said, thy brother with subtlety, and have taken away thy blessing, basically. And Isaac said unto Esau, behold, I have made him the Lord, thy Lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for his servants, and with corn and wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do now unto thee, my son? So basically, he received the double blessing, and he became the elder of the rest. Watch this. He says, and Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of the heaven from above, and by the sword shall thou live. This is actually true. Esau lives by the sword to this day, and shall serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have dominion, thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. This is actually true. They broke the yoke from off their neck during the times of, I believe, when Solomon rebelled. They broke the yoke from off Esau broke the yoke, and from that time on, there was war. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And he said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother. Understand this. This is very important, because to this day we see that Esau has worked to slay his brother or his descendants who remembered the account, and they have warred on a consistent basis. And when Jacob came up out of Egypt, they wouldn't even let them pass through. They had a problem with them passing through. But then I guess they let them through, but for the most part, they came out to them with the sword. So therefore, this is their brethren, or his brother, his twin brother, and his descendants to this day is at war with him. And that's another topic we're going to deal with, who his descendants is, because, you know, I look at it on a different stance from the other brothers probably that's on the panel. But for the most part, that's it. That's all I got to say about it. This is a literal aspect, and it does bring out some spiritual things. And when I brought out earlier about about Ishmael, when I brought out about the confederacy against Ishmael and the allegory that was used between Paul and the book of Galatians, that relates to this just as well. But we ain't going to deal with that at this time. I didn't want to bring too much out, but it definitely relates to this text, because those brothers are in confederate with each other. And that's what the whole text is dealing with, a literal war between these two in the land, and also the spiritual, or the backing of the spirit, the entities that's behind the working of these people to fight in the land to this day. I'm done. That's all I got to say about that. You brothers can speak on the panel if you want to. I'm finna stop sharing here. Yeah, so, you know, it's not that difficult. Go ahead, brother Mikael.
No, I'm just gonna say that was you didn't really get into the details. You know, man, you don't really it's no secret, man. You don't really agree who Esau is, but we do agree regionally where he mainly at. You know what I'm saying? We both know he ain't all white people. That don't even add up scripturally. But that ain't even really what the topic of the subject was. Basically, you just lined up the history with the bibliography and geography. It showed that if Esau is a literal person, so is Jacob a literal person. You know, so basically, the brothers get too smart for their own good and say some of the stupidest stuff up. You know, so that, and to go even deeper, if Jacob not a literal person, then Israel not a literal nation, then Jesus wasn't a literal person because he was an Israelite, and it just goes on and on and on. So ain't nothing. Basically, don't nobody exist. That mean, look, if Esau and Jacob didn't exist, then Isaac didn't exist. If Isaac didn't exist, then Abraham didn't exist. If Abraham didn't exist, then Eber didn't exist. If Eber didn't, and I'm just skipping a couple generations. See where it's gonna go? If Noah didn't exist, then there was no Ham, which means there was no Mizraim, which means there is no Egypt. There were no such thing as Egyptians then, because that's the Greek word. You know what I'm saying? That's the Greek word for Mizraim. So that means that the Egyptians don't exist. That means that Cush don't exist. So there's no Ethiopians. So this just goes, that means, according to his logic, don't nobody exist. Wow, what am I doing here? You muted, bro. Your mic muted.
Yeah, that's the problem, man. The brother, man, he don't understand that, man. He don't understand the text. You know, he wants to try to allegorize everything, but he don't want to deal with the literal aspects of the concepts that's in the context. And nah, brother, you ain't gonna get away with that over here, man. We're gonna deal with the archaeology of it. We're gonna deal with the history of it, and we're gonna bring it up, bring it where it's supposed to be at. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that he don't want to do. We're gonna break down the Hebrew words that's dealing with it. You know, I agree with him when he said, for us the aspect, because you know, he wants to talk about the universe and this and that. Nah, brother, it's literal aspect. This stuff is going on for reals, man. Like this ain't no joke. This going on for reals, bro. Like we see this been going on. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what he on, man, but I broke down Edom and what the color is, you know, what it's dealing with, and red, ruddy.
See, that's the bottom line right here, bro. Anybody who has been blessed, that the Ruach Hakodesh or the Holy Spirit has been put on them by the Most High God to be able to break down these books. The one thing you have to notice is there's always going to be a literal and there's always going to be a spiritual. If he used the term metaphysical or metaphor or symbolism, it's always going to be that lines up with the literal. But the symbolic does not take away from the literal, and the literal does not take away from the symbolic. Now, what has happened is him and a lot of other brothers like him get stuck at a point where they don't know how to discern the natural or the literal from the figuratively and the symbolic. So what they do is when they get confused, they just say it's all symbolic or it's all metaphysical. You know, that's an intelligent way of saying I have no idea what this text means. You know what I'm saying? People see straight through that, man. It ain't fooling nobody.
And then
So really, that's all.
exactly. And let me bring up something real quick. Let me do this real quick. I gotta do this. I'm gonna screen share one more time, you know, because I want people to see what's going on. You know, what's the deal? Let me jump right here real quick. Watch this. All right, so look. Watch this. All right, so look. It says, I don't know. Let me see. Let me jump up a little bit more. Watch what Abraham is told. Watch what he does. It says, so Abraham departed as the Lord had spoken it to him. This is Genesis 12 and 4. Matter of fact, hold on. Jump up a little bit. Genesis 12 and 1. Now the Lord has said unto Abraham, get thee out of thy country and from thy kindred and from thy father's house unto a land that I will show thee. Somebody mute their mic. Hold on for a minute. All right. Watch what it says. And from thy kindred and from thy father's house into a land that I will show thee. Let me put y'all up on game real quick. Now he's told to get away from his kindred, out of the country, and from his father's house into a land that I will show thee. But watch what he does. Watch what he does. So Abraham departed as the Lord had spoken unto him. He departed all right, and Lot went with him. Underline, Lot went with him. And Abraham was 70 and 5 years old. Two problems here. One problem. Abraham departed like the Most High told him to do. But guess who went with him? His kindred went with him. His relative went with him, which was his nephew. Now the Most High had already told him to get away from his kindred, but they went with him. Now watch this. Let's show y'all what's going on in the literal aspect and the confusion and the wars that we see in the people in the land to this day. Watch what it's finna say. Watch this. Jump over. Jump over. It says, just jump over to 13 and 5. It's going to, the beef finna start kicking off real quick. And Lot also, which went with Abraham, had flocks and herds and tents. And the Lord was not able, and the land was not able to bear them, that they might dwell together. For their substance was great, so that they could not dwell together. And there was strife between the herdsmen of Abraham's cattle and the herdsmen of Lot's cattle. See, this is the problem. You would never had this strife if you would never took this brother with you in the first place. Because the Most High called you and told you to get thee away from your kindred, but you brought this brother with you. And we're going to show you that all the people that dwell around Israel now is the people who is their brethren and who's fighting the land to this day. Watch this. And the Canaanite and the Perizzite dwelt in that land. In other words, y'all over here fighting, and the people who y'all supposed to be taking this land from, the enemy, is in this land. When you always are fighting amongst yourself, the enemy is always watching. Always. Watch what Abraham says. And Abraham said unto Lot, let there be no strife, I pray thee, between me and thee, and between thy herdsmen and thy herdmen. For we be brethren, he said. Is not the whole land before thee? Separate thyself, I pray thee, from me. If thou wilt take the left hand, then I will go to the right. Or if thou wilt depart to the right hand, then I will go to the left. So Abraham said, if you go to the left, I'm going to go to the right. If you go to the right, I'm going to go to the left, basically. Basically telling them, whatever you want to do, go ahead, brother. We going to, hey, it is what it is. We're going to make this work, right? So watch this. And Lot lifted up his eyes and beheld in all the plain of Jordan. This is what Moab, and guess what? Moab and Ammon is going to dwell at. That it was well watered everywhere before the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, even as the garden of the Lord, like the land of Egypt. As thou comest into Zoar, then Lot chose him all the plain of Jordan, and Lot journeyed east, and they separated themselves one from another. Watch this. Watch this. Let's jump to 14. And the Lord said unto Abraham, after that Lot was separated from him, bringing him back to the vision again, lift up now thine eyes, and look from thy place where thou art, northward and southward and eastward and westward. Watch this. For all the land thou seest, to thee will I give it, and to thy seed forever. This is a physical appearance, him looking unto the land, or Eretz, unto the place that the Most High was going to give him. And I will make thy seed as the dust of the earth, so that if a man can number the dust of the earth, then shall thy seed also be numbered. Arise, walk ye there through the land in the length of it, and in the breadth of it, for I will give it unto thee. Right? So we're going to deal with that. So watch this. We see here that Abraham was promised something on a physical basis, right? And his seed was promised to get that land. He said he was going to give it to his seed. No problem with that. So watch this. We see, let's calculate this down. We ain't got to jump to too many scriptures, because I want to calculate. For those that know the scriptures, they're going to know this. Lot has two children. He has Ammon, and he has Ammon, and he has Moab. Understand this. Not only is the enemies in the land, but he has Ammon and he has Moab, and then you have also the children of Abraham. I mean, the children of children of Abraham, right? And watch this. Let's deal with this. Let's deal with this. Watch this. Let's jump real quick. Ain't gonna be that long. So look, Abraham is promised a child. He has no child yet. So he goes into his wife. He goes into his wife's maiden, which is Hagar. She becomes his wife. He go into her. They have Ishmael. So now we have Ammon, we have Moab, Ishmael, and the enemies of the land. Abraham has no seed yet. right? But he's finna have one. He has Isaac, right? So when he has Isaac, Isaac come forth, and then guess what? Ishmael and Isaac have some confrontation of Ishmael mocking Isaac, so that child is put forth. So when that child is put forth, that child basically begins to have some type of resentment or bitterness towards Isaac. So you have Moab, Ammon, and Ishmael, right? These children are the ones who are mentioned in the Confederacy that we see over in Psalms 83. We're going to get to that, though. I'm going to show y'all that all of these lands is named around Israel are the enemies of Israel, and these are the Psalms 83 that's in Confederate. Watch this. So we just jumping a little bit. I'm just using this to put me up on remembrance on some things. So let's jump to all right, so here we go. So remember, Isaac, we got the enemies of Isaac is Ishmael, Moab, and Ammon, and plus the ones that's in the land. It was dwelling in that land when they were strifing with each other. Lot and them was strifing with each other. Watch this. Let's jump to the next chapter. I believe is this chapter. No, it's this one. Genesis 25. This is why Moses is giving us this. Then again, Abraham took a wife, and her name was Keturah. Watch this. And she bare him Zimran, and Jokshan, and Medan. Understand this. Watch this. And Midian. Remember Midian? These are the people that caused Israel to stumble in the wilderness. And Ishbak, and Shuah, and Jokstan begot Sheba, and Dedan. And the sons of Dedan was Ashuriam, and Lutitium, and Luminium. And the sons of Medan, Ephah, and Epher, and Hanak, and Abidah, and Eldad. All these were the children of Keturah. Watch this. Watch what's going to take place. And Abraham gave all that he had unto Isaac. All that he had unto Isaac. But remember these children up here. Remember Isaac. Remember Ammon. Remember Moab. And remember Ishmael. Right? Remember all these children that Abraham had, because these are all the people in the land that are mad because watch what Abraham does. And Abraham gave all that he had unto Isaac. But unto the sons of the concubines which Abraham had, Abraham gave gifts and sent them all away from Isaac his son while he yet lived eastward unto the east country. So this is the people that is in this land that are what you call your modern day Arabs that are warring in the east country against Israel. Watch this. Watch this. Let's go down. Here comes, in chapter 25, here comes Esau. Watch this. Let's read about, watch this. And it came to pass after the death of Abraham that God blessed his son Isaac, and Isaac dwelt by the well of Leheroi. And now these are the generations of Ishmael, Abraham's son, whom Hagar, the Egyptian Sarah's handmaid, burned to Abraham. And these are the names of the sons of Ishmael by their names, according to their generations. The firstborn of Ishmael, Nabajat, and Kedar, Adbel, and Messam, and Mishma, Dima, Masa, Hadar, Tema. We know about Tema already. Jator, Nathish, and Kedama. These are the sons of Ishmael, and these are their names, by their towns and by their castles, 12 princes. And there are 12 years, and these are the 12 years of the life of Ishmael, 137 years, and he gave up the ghost and died, and was gathered to his people. Watch what he's going to say they dwelt at. And they dwelt from Havilah unto Shur, that is before Egypt, as thou goest toward Assyria, and he died in the presence of all his brothers. So we see where they dwell at, right? So then here comes Esau. Esau come along, and Esau comes, and he basically once he comes, he comes, and he's now in confederate with these people. Psalms 83. He's confederate with these Arabs in Psalms 83. So he wars against basically Isaac just as well, or the seed of Isaac, right? He's doing the same thing, because you see he goes against Jacob, which is Israel. Now watch this. So we read this already, so let's jump real quick. Let's jump. Just bringing all this together so y'all can see who's warned against Israel. Let's look at who Esau marries. Because we steady adding. If he would have never took these people like the Most High told him, they would have never came about. If Abraham would have never married Hagar and hearkened to the Most High and waited, would have never been Ishmael. Would have never had to worry about no Keturah or any of that. Watch this. Watch this, what your boy Esau did. And Isaac called Jacob and blessed him and charged him and said unto him, thou should not take a wife of the daughters of Canaan. Let's jump back one more, because what we want to do is right here at the bottom. Right here at the bottom. Right here at the bottom. Jump up. Hold on. And Rebekah said to Isaac, and when Esau saw that Isaac blessed Jacob and sent him away to Panaram and take him a wife from thence, and that as he blessed him, he gave him a charge, saying, thou should not take up the wives of the daughters of Canaan. And Jacob obeyed his father and his mother and was gone to Panaram. And Esau, seeing that the daughters of Canaan pleased not Isaac his father, watch what he does. Then went Esau into Ishmael. So now they confederate with each other, and took into the wife which he had made, Malhalat, the daughter of Ishmael, and Abraham's son, the sister of Nebajah, to be his wife. You see what I'm saying? So now he's going into now he's going into the children of Abraham now, which is Ishmael now. See what I'm saying? That's what he's doing. And I think Keturah and them just as well. Let's jump up. So they all in the same area. So let's see also what he did before then. Let's jump to 27, because he did something before then too. Let's see what he did before then. In fact, let's jump up. Because he went and took him a wife that was from Canaan, daughter of Heth. Let me look for that scripture. Let me look for that scripture. Oh, here it is right here. And Esau was 40 years old. This is Genesis 26 and 34. And Esau was 40 years old when he took to wife Judith, the daughter of Beri, the Hittite, and Bathsheba, the daughter of Elon, the Hittite, which was a grief of mine unto Isaac and to Rebekah. So now he's dealing with the children of Ham in the land of Canaan, the Hittites. See what I'm saying? Heth, which come from Heth, which is a Canaanite. So that's what he's dealing with, right? So Isaac and Rebekah was tripping on that. You know what I'm saying? So we see that he's mixed in with them, Then he's mixed in with the Ishmaelites. And let's look what Ishmael is doing. This is simple. Let's go to Genesis 36. So now we finna make the correlation here. We finna bid it all together, and then we're going to close out on that after we get done with this scripture. Watch this. Watch this. Now these are the generations of Esau, who was Edom. Esau took his wives of the daughters of Canaan, Adah, the daughter of Elon the Hittite, Ahalabama, the daughter of Anai, the daughter of Zibeon the Hethite, and Bashmath, Ishmael's daughter, sister of Nabajah. And Abda bare to Esau, Eliphaz. I'm telling you, this is all of them right here. This is all of them. And watch this. And Esau took his wives and his sons and his daughters and all the persons of his house and his cattle and all the beasts and all his substance which he had, got into the land of the Canaan, and got in the land of Canaan, and went into the country from the face of his brother Jacob. For their riches were more than that they might dwell together. And the land wherein they were strangers could not bear them because of their cattle. Thus dwelt Esau in Mount Seir. Esau is Edom. That's what it's saying. This is what he's telling us, right? So we see that. We see all his dukes right here, right? So watch this. Let's look what Ishmael did. Let's look what Ishmael did. 25. Matter of fact, no. I want to make the correlation between. I gotta jump. I gotta go all the way over. Matter of fact, I know where it's at. 37. Genesis 37. That's where it's at. So what Ishmael did. Watch this. And Jacob dwelt in the land where his father was a stranger, in the land of Canaan. Jump down a little bit. I'm gonna show y'all what Ishmael and how they was confederate, who they was confederate with, just as well. It's very important. They interchangeable. So he sent him out of the vale of Hebron, and he came to Shechem. Watch this. Reading on a couple of things here. Watch what he says. 28. Let's go to 27. 26, just to go a little bit, bear witness a little bit. And Judah said unto his brethren, what profit is it if we slay our brother and conceal his blood? Come and let us sell him to the Ishmaelites, and let not our hand be upon him, for he is our brethren and our flesh, and his brethren were content. Then there passed by Midianite merchants, and they drew and lifted up Joseph out of the pit and sold Joseph to the Ishmaelites for 20 pieces of silver. Y'all notice they called them Midianites and Ishmaelites. Why is that? If anybody know why, it's because these people was dwelling and they was one together. Remember, the Median. Hold on. Now remember, the Midianites were the ones who were the children of Keturah. Remember that? Who Abraham went into? Those are the children of Keturah. Matter of fact, what's his name? The son of Jethro. Jethro was a Midianite. He was the children of Keturah, Abraham's children. So look, they confederate with each other. Esau is dwelling in the presence of his brethren. Understand that. So I just wanted to bring that out and show y'all. Now watch this. Let's bring this back. These are the people that's in the land fighting with each other today. Fighting against each other. Psalms 83. Watch what it says. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation. Israel, they want to cut Israel off, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. That's why the media is saying there is no archaeology proof for Israel. Why? Because if you cut off these people in the ancient times, if you was to cut off somebody's name, then you cut off them as a people, period. Or you erased their history. For they have consulted together with one consent, that they are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites. Remember I told y'all, Moab and the Hagarenes. These are the children of Hagar, Gebal, and Ammon. This is the children that moved to they moved to Jordan and was in the mountains and in Arabia that dwells comes against Israel. Amalek. Who was Amalek? A descendant of Edom. He come from Edom. The Philistines. Remember, Edom married into the Philistines, which was the Canaanites or Palestinians, with the inhabitants of Tyre. Ashur. Who was Ashur? Ashur deals with Assyria, or Ashurim, or Ashurim. Also is joined with them. They have helping the children of Lot. So the children of Lot is at war with them. The Palestinians is at war with them. Israelites is at war with them. Hagarenes, Gebal, Ammon, Amalek. These are your modern day Arabs, y'all. Think I'm lying? Watch where they dwelt at. And with that being said, that's it. I'm done, y'all. And if ain't nobody got nothing to say on this panel, we finna close them up out of here, because I done got super hungry. Well, I see no one has something to say. So peace and blessings to all y'all out there. And we finna go off of air. And we finna relax. Peace.